Hi there, welcome back to Joe's Yoga class. I'm Joe Lewzey and we'll be practicing a restorative practice today. Now this practice is great for any time of the day. Anytime you just need a quick 15 to 20 minute break, then this is a great practice just to kind of calm and center yourself, calm the nervous system down, and maybe allow some of the stress or anxiety that might be moving through you, allowing it to kind of be released, right? Often we carry that stress around with us and then we don't know what to do with it. This type of practice is a really great way to feel some of that stress and allow it to move through so that it can be released. Now, this is also a great practice to do in the evening just before you go to bed. If you're winding down from your day, this is a really nice way to quieten the mind and prepare yourself for sleep. So what you'll need for this practice is a chair. It can be any kind of chair. If you have a yoga chair, great, but anything you have. You'll grab some cushions or a bolster if you have one. Get some blankets and get 2 blocks if you have them. If you don't have those things, we'll just make do with what you have. So I will see you on the mat in a moment, just after I've introduced you to the beautiful Sage. This is Sage. So the wonderful thing about practicing at home is that you can really create a sacred space for yourself. You can have your loved ones and your animals around you, and that can create a really nice calm feeling. So let's get the props ready and I'll see you shortly. So we'll start seated on a cushion or a blanket, whatever you have. And let's close the eyes and take a few moments to pause here. So starting off the practice by checking in with yourself, allowing your attention to begin to shift inside of your body, inside of your being. And really making that connection first before you begin to move anywhere. So just paying attention to the breath, paying attention to the sensations in your body. And it's when we can give all of our attention to these aspects of ourselves that we start to feel and become more integrated. We feel kind of split and divided, right? Where we feel like we're in so many different places at one time when the mind is distracted. So the first thing we need to do is to bring our mind into focus. And know that the nature of the mind is to be distracted, is to go from one place to the other. And what we're practicing here is to continue to bring it back and to refocus over and over again, coming back to the sensations, coming back to the breath. Now slowly you're going to make your way into a child's pose. So you can take your blanket or your cushion out the way, but as you go there I want you to have a couple of blocks close by so that you can use them in a moment. Alright, so come on down, take the knees wide and touch the big toes together. You can either rest your forehead straight down on the mat or you could take one of your blocks if the floor seems a little too far away, and just place the head on a block. So again, this practice is all about tuning in, checking in with ourselves and becoming present with whatever is there. It's said that the the best gift you can give someone else is your attention. And the same thing applies to our own self. We get so busy focusing on everything else and everyone else that we forget to give ourselves that same quality of attention. So come up slowly. Now you're going to have 1 or 2 blocks maybe if you need them. You're going to put it there. We can start off on the medium height and again always adjust if you need. We're going to come up into a downward dog and the forehead is going to rest on the block. So you have to kind of adjust around a little bit until you find a comfortable place. So for me, when I place my head down, it's actually more right to the top of my forehead. And it gives the head a place to rest and kind of creates this calming effect. Now you can keep your knees bent and ground the top of your thigh bones back into your hamstrings and lift your armpits up so you're not collapsing in your shoulders. I recommend to keep the eyes closed here so you can stay focused on the inner experience, but of course always take a look and watch me for a moment if you're not quite sure. If 1 block doesn't seem like enough, you can always try 2 blocks. Really, it's about playing around with it until you find the right configuration for you, for your body. Let's take 3 more slow and smooth breaths here. And then start to walk forward towards the block, just about halfway up your mat. Now you're going to take your second block as well. And if you don't have blocks, you can always find, a big stack of books or something that's going to work here for you. And you're going to stack the blocks or the books. And again, it's not about it being your deepest forward fold. So find the right height for you that you can rest your head on the blocks and fold gently. Now you can certainly keep the knees bent here or straight legs. Place the fingertips down and breathe here. Allow the blocks to be a resting place, not only for your head, but for your mind. So the mind feels more calm, more supported. And breathing into the sensations in your body. One of the gifts of this practice is it gives us a space to be with the difficult sensations, to be with challenging things as they arise, whether it's emotions, thoughts, sensations. And as those things arise, we create the quality, the inner quality of equanimity. So those things are there, but we're choosing not to react to them. We notice it, we breathe into it, but we keep the mind steady and stable. The moment we start reacting to something as it arises, then we're actually giving it more power. And then it kind of stays stuck there. But when we don't give it power, then it will release in its own way and in its own time. Now slowly step your feet back. Come back down to your knees, take your blocks away and rest again in child's pose. Let it be just really soft, really gentle. Feel the breath, and as you breathe here now, I want you to start to breathe a bit more into the back and the sides of your rib cage. Slowly and deeply. Now slowly make your way back up, and you're going to sit on your heels here or sit on a block in Virasana, a kneeling position. If you don't have a block, you could use your blanket or a cushion. Now close your eyes here and take a moment to tune in again to the breath. And start to breathe a little bit more fully and a little bit more expansively. And as you're breathing, I want you to visualize first in your mind's eye the back and the sides of your body expanding more. Doesn't mean the front won't expand as well, but often we only breathe in the front. And there's a lot more breath to be had when we start to learn how to breathe more on all sides of our body. So keep the breath flowing and natural, breathing through your nose. And just begin to visualize that, your body expanding in all directions, the back and the sides and the front. If you know Ujjayi pranayama, you can feel free to breathe in this way, or you can just breathe smoothly and softly through your nose. And take one more full breath like this. And softly begin to open your eyes. And we're going to take our bolster now. So if you don't have a bolster, you could get 2 or 3 blankets and make a really big roll with those blankets. And then that will create like a kind of medium to large bolster. All right. So if you have a bolster, grab it. And if not, roll up your blankets. Now, for the first thing we're going to do with this bolster, you're going to actually start sitting on it. And then once you've sat on it, you're going to slide your hips forward until you almost feel like you're going to slide off the bolster, but not quite. And then lower yourself back. And as you do, the bolster is going to be on the lumbar curve, right? The lower part of your spine. So you may have to wiggle a couple of times just to find the right place. Keep your knees bent and your feet flat. And you want to feel like your sit bones are just gently tipping down towards the mat over the top of your bolster. Close your eyes again. And this can be a really lovely way just to begin to re-establish the lumbar curve. If we spend a lot of time sitting every day, which a lot of us are doing these days when we're working from home, then often we can actually start to round or flatten our lumbar curve. And when we do that, we're creating tension in the psoas muscle. And the inner organs actually start to become more compressed, right? They don't have as much space to really function to their fullest. So as you feel the lower back opening, also feel the belly opening. And what you may even do here, if you feel it, is just do a little bit of a belly massage. You can kind of work your fingertips around the belly, either on top of your clothes or even on the skin here. I prefer to actually put my fingers on the skin and kind of dig in and work around, see if you can get into some of the internal organs here. Just like you massage out a tense muscle, if you find some tension in your belly, in any of the organs, stay on it for a moment and just massage it out gently. Breathing into all those sensations as you gently massage. Or, if you prefer, you just keep your arms by your sides and relax completely there. Now, slowly, you're going to roll to the right side. Come up very, very carefully and slowly. And any of these things that we do, you can always feel free to do it for longer, right? If you feel like, okay, I just want to stop the video, pause, and spend a lot longer in this pose, then feel free to do that, okay? So now we're going to sit in front of the bolster. And as we lay back here, we're going to lay back so that the bolster or the roll blankets are more on the upper back. You may need something for your head, so you can take your block or a blanket and put it underneath your head. Open your arms out to the side and either have your legs straight or bring the soles of your feet together with your knees open. So again, opening gently in the belly, and this time all the way up into the upper back and the chest. So creating a little more space for the breath. Smooth and easy breath. Feeling the shoulders gently releasing. Another thing that's important here as we practice is we're not here to try to push anything away. Right? So if you're feeling something challenging, if you're feeling stress, if you're feeling anxiety, this is not about trying to push it away or get rid of it. Every time we do that, we actually bring it closer to us. It's the opposite. We're here to give ourselves full permission to feel whatever is present. And then let the body, let nature take care of the rest. So slowly start to bring your knees together. And again, feel free to stay longer here if you'd like. Otherwise, roll to the right side and slowly come on up. Now we're going to use our chair. So we'll take the bolster and the block away. And you can meet my beautiful little kitty Abigail. So we've got Abby and Sage with us today. So we'll take the chair and we'll put it onto the mat. Now as you come down here, the first thing we're going to do with the chair is actually sit and take the legs apart. And you can have the chair at whichever distance feels right for you, depending on your range of motion. You're going to come forward, and you can even put a blanket here if the chair feels a little bit hard or cold. Put the blanket there, and then lean towards the chair and rest your forehead on the chair. So just a easy, gentle forward fold. Resting the forehead, resting the mind. Keep the legs gently engaged. And try to keep the spine lengthening as much as you can. So you're trying not to round your back too much. Soft and smooth breath as always. Keeping the mind stable and steady. Choosing not to react to things as they arise. Slowly come on up. Good. Now you can take your blanket and place it behind you for your head. We'll finish the last part here with the legs on the chair and the head on the blanket. So adjust it so it's just right for you. Feel free to cover your eyes here. Maybe you have an eye pillow or a towel. Allow the weight of the legs to completely release onto your chair. And feel each part of the body from the feet, slowly working your way up from your feet into your lower legs, resting on the chair, relaxing the calf muscles. And from the lower legs up into your knees. And into your thighs and your pelvis heavy on the mat. Feel the belly soft. The shoulders, the arms all the way down into your fingertips. And the weight of your head heavy. Your eyes, your jaw, your face soft and relaxed. And slowly take your legs off the chair and begin to hug your knees into your chest. Just gently rock from side to side. Especially if you're doing this just before you go to bed, keeping your body, your mind quiet as you gently roll to the side and come on up to sit. So we'll end seated on our blanket. Set yourself up for a minute or two of seated meditation. So make sure you're definitely sitting on something so that your spine can be upright. Either rest the palms on the thighs up or down, or your hands in your lap, whatever feels most comfortable. And keeping the spine upright, yet your outer body soft, your skin soft. So again, the biggest gift we can give another is our fullest attention. So now, can we give ourselves that same gift of loving attention? And feeling free to stay there for a lot longer. Or maybe you lay down on your back again and take another few moments of relaxation there. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this quiet and restorative practice. Know that you can do this at any time of your day. Come back to it over and over again. Maybe you make it something that you do regularly every night before you go to sleep, especially if you're having trouble sleeping. All right, so thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.